something exciting. Tell you what we're doing. That's right, today we're building a CICD pipeline to deploy a simple Express server to EC2 using GitHub Actions. I know there are many ways to build pipelines, but using GitHub Action, I find this to be very simple. So we're doing this today. So we have a series of things to do, a list of things. Let's go over the list. This is the list. As you can see, I've gone to do 1 and 2 already. I've created a simple Express app. You know how to do that, of course. I've Dockerized it, simple Docker, maybe 5-6 lines of Docker file. Now the next thing we need to do, we need to create two secrets, all right, on our repo. So guess what's happening? Let me explain what's going to happen now. So we want to deploy our app on EC2, all right? We want to run it as a container, and then we're using GitHub Action to build a pipeline so that anytime we make updates, as soon as we push to GitHub, it just does its thing, it runs everything for us, and then we'll see our updates in no time. That's of course, you understand, that's what CICD pipelines are for. It pushes the code and deploys it. So that's what we're going to use the Docker Hub to do. It has the actions that will help us do that. We create actions. So we'll create 2 actions. One to push the code, our image to Docker Hub, and then the second action is going to do the deployment. Pull the image from Docker Hub to our EC2 and then run the container for us, and then our app will be live. So let's go ahead and do this. Create 2 secrets. So we'll go to settings, and then we'll go to secrets, we'll go to actions, and then we'll hit new repository secrets. I'm going to create Docker username and Docker password secrets. Of course, I'm going to fast forward this. I'm not going to show you the values. All right, guys, I've created 2 secrets, Docker password and Docker username. So let's also copy this repo address so we can push our code. Remember, we've Dockerized the app already, and there's no need to waste time. So this is our app. Let me just run through it. We have an EMB folder. This is basically a simple Express 12 lines where we have a simple endpoint, and then it's going to return a simple JSON to say status all looking good. So simple, and we're using a TypeScript. So there is a compilation that is done here. So let me show you the Docker file. How many lines? There is one space. This is about maybe 6-7 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 lines. Yeah. So we're using Alpine. It's a slim node image, and then we're creating a working directory called Express app, and then we're copying JSON, the package.json. Then we're running install to install everything in this place, the dependencies, and then we're copying everything from the project, and then we're running build, and let's see what this script is or does. It's actually TS. That's the TypeScript compilation. So build would compile our files to plain JavaScript. Let's go back here, and then we're exposing a port, port 505, and then is it even necessary? I don't even think it's necessary though. And then we're going to run the command node build index.js to run the app. That's basically our. There's no need to build. Let's just continue with the steps. There's no need to build and run this Docker if it's working. I know it's working. You know it's working because it's simple. So let's go see what's next to do. We've created a secret, and we're going to create to create the first action. We're going to create the action script here. So in this directory, we're going to we're going to create a .github directory in .github, remember, and then in it we're going to create another directory called workflows. Then we're going to create our action files. We're going to create two actions. Right, you can call them whatever you want to. So let's just call them the first one CI, since it's the first part of CICD. Call it CI.yml, and then we'll call the second one cd.yml. But really, it doesn't matter what you call your action files. So I'm just going to paste in the action script, and then we'll just run over it. Where is it? All right. Let me pull this down so we can see it. It's 24 lines here. So it has a name because you can reference it from another action. So this name is important here. Take note of this. And then this is the trigger. This is the trigger that's going to run this action. So we're saying when this branch gets a new push, this action should run. So this branch. So this is what we're going to call the branch that we're going to push this entire code to, on GitHub. So what's going to happen? We're going to run jobs here. Well, in this case, we have just a single job called build. This is the name of the job, and then it's going to run on the inputted later. So GitHub is going to spin up this machine for us to run this action, and then this is how we're bringing in the secrets we created, right? Using env. So we're bringing in secrets, and then we're going to need them here. So we're running steps in our build. In our job rather, we're running a couple of of steps, 1 2 3 4 steps. The steps can either be using an existing action or you run your own command. So since we're pulling code from GitHub, we're going to use the GitHub checkout action. So we're using an action by GitHub. So version 3, I think it's the first time I'm using version 3. I've been using version 2 for a long time. And then the next step, it's we're doing a login. This is just the name of the step. You can call it whatever you want, but this is what's important. We're running this command here, docker login. Of course, we're going to need a username, which is taken from the secret, and then the password, the P here is for password, which is also taken from the secret here. Remember how this goes. And then the next step, it's the docker build. So of course, this is context here. Remember, if you understand Docker file, this is the context here. This is default, so we don't even need this, but there's no need. Let's leave it, but this is default. In case your Docker file had a different name, so you can come and call it whatever the name is here, all right? But this is default, but it doesn't ought to leave it here. And then we're going to tag it. You remember we're going to push this code, so we have to tag it. Tagging it, if you want to push your images to Docker Hub, you have to tag it with your username. So we're getting username from this environment variable, and then we say slash whatever we want to give our image name. So we're calling it Simple Express app, right? So these are tag username slash the name. All right, so that's the build command and the tag together, and then the next step and the last step, it's to push this image that we've built to Docker Hub, right? Push image to Docker Hub. So we're using Docker push. Docker push will take just the tag, right? And what was the tag we have there? The tag is username slash the name of the tag slash the name of the image rather, to username Simple Express app. So this is good. I've tested it, so I'm just going to save it, and then we're going to run this. Remember, we copied a repo before, but we've lost it because we copied something else. So I'm going to go back to GitHub and copy the repo, so we can push a new branch to this repo. So let's go initialize GitHub. Say git init. All right, things are good. So let's go see what's happening there. Let's see our steps. So we created a secret. We've built the first action, and we've also pushed to GitHub, GitHub, and say onward to Docker Hub, confirm on Docker Hub. We don't need to confirm, but if the action succeeds, That means this has happened. There's no need to waste time to go confirm on Docker Hub. We've pushed, but so let's go to our actions. Oh, it has run already. It happened just now, and it took 40 seconds to run this action. So if you go to the action tab, you see all your actions that will run. So look at this is the name of the action. Like I said, it's the name of the action, Docker image CI. If you open it, you will see all the runs, they call them. So each commit, will run the action. So this commit here, initial commit, run the action. So let's continue with the next thing. The next thing we need to do now is provision EC2 machine. Of course, normally you would log into AWS console and provision a machine, but I'm just going to use Terraform. I've been learning Terraform, and it's been exciting. So I have the script already. I'm just going to paste it, and it will spin up a machine for me. So I've copied the code somewhere. Let's go create, just create a main.tf file, and let's bring this down. Main.tf, and I'm going to paste this. Doesn't matter. You probably see this in the repo. So let me clear this place. Even though I have this other side on. Let me clear this, and then we're going to run that. Have I saved it? Nope. I saved it. So to run that Terraform file, we're going to run two commands: Terraform init. Usually you would validate your file, but I've tested it, it's working, so there's no need. So we're going to init. All right, guys, a machine has been created, and then it gave me the instance ID with which I'm going to get the public IP, because we need to SSH into the machine. So this is it. This is the ID. I've copied it, and then we're going to use the CLI to grab the public ID. Let's do that with from the main terminal. Let me clear this. You do like this. I have a description command somewhere. Let me go put it. All right, guys, this is the command I'm running to grab the public IP of the machine that was created. Awesome. So this is the IP. I'm going to copy this and keep somewhere. Press N, press Q to end this. Of course, I'm going to tear down this machine, with Terraform destroy before this video is even up. All right, so we need to now SSH into the machine, I guess. But can we just confirm from our list? What have we done? We've provisioned our machine. Now we need to SSH it. Okay, that's what we need to do, and then we need to install Docker. I have the steps already. We're just going to run them through. So they should be able to get me into the machine. Yes, if I type yes here, and we're in. So the next thing to do is to install Docker. Let's clear this first. To install Docker, I have the command somewhere. I'm just going to paste them one after the other. So if everything goes well, if I check Docker PS now, you can see that okay, Docker is good. So we've done that steps. Let's clear our screen and go check what next to do. So we've installed Docker. Now we need to create a runner. Now the next thing to do is to create the runner. So we'll come back to our repo here. We'll go to settings, go to actions. Where is it? Actions here, runners. Awesome. I created a runner here before, but let's just delete it. Okay, it's gone. I'm going to create a new runner. All right, so you select your machine type. Mine, the machine I spinned up, it's Amazon Linux. So I'm using Linux here. The architecture is 64. So we're going to run this code one after the other. These commands rather. So create folder and seed into the folder. So I'm going to do this very quickly. I'll fast forward this process. All right, what's next? All right, this is good. Now I've brought in this file here, but I may have issues untying it, so I'm going to own this directory, not able to do that successfully without issues. So I'm going to do a process before I continue. So I'm going to sudo change owner to myself. EC2 user, right? All right. Now I can continue with their steps. What's the next thing? And this one is optional. And then all right, please tell me you're good. Good. Now, next thing again. All right, now is to run the config script. And then lastly, to run the runner. Right, before I run this one, okay, when I tried previously, I had an issue with the package. We need a package called libico. So I'm going to install it with yum before I run this last command that I copied. Libico. Yes. Good. Let me clear screen, paste their command. Now everything should be good. All right, so it's installing the runner. To ask me a couple of things, I'm just going to press enter to accept the defaults. Yes, yes, yes. Settings saved. All right. So the last thing to do is to run a script. So /run.sh. All right. So I guess the runner started listening for jobs. All right. We're getting good here. So we've created a runner. Now the next thing is to create the second action. I have the script somewhere. I'm just going to copy it. So remember, we're going to call this one cd dot cd dot inside the workflows. Remember, in here we're going to create cd.yml. Remember, it doesn't matter what you call it. So where is it? It's here somewhere. Let me go grab it and paste it. Then let's run through it quickly. It has a name. Now what's the trigger? This was going to trigger it. This one is going to be triggered when the previous, or not the previous, when this workflow. So we're referencing this other workflow by its name. When Docker image CI workflow completes, all right, if it has an error, if it fails, of course this one will run. So if it completes successfully, that's when this second workflow would kick into action. So what are the jobs? A single job here, we call it deploy, and we're running it on a self-hosted machine. And we're bringing in our environment variable still because we need it here. We're using just the username here. So what are the steps? 1, 2, and 3 steps, right? The name and the run command. right? So the first step is to pull the, now, of course, the first action deployed or push the image to Docker Hub. So what this action is doing now, pulling the image from Docker Hub to our EC2 machine and then to run, the image or the container, right? So the first step is pulling. Of course, to pull, we have to attach our username to the image name, and then we're deleting if the container exists before, we're going to delete it. That's what this command is doing. So we're deleting simple express app container, right? And then lastly, we're running the Docker container with run -d for the dash, the port we're mapping 5000. So the EC2 machine I spinned up with Terraform, I attached a security group that has this port open 5000, with which we can access the app, all right? And then the app is going to be running on any port you specify here, really. And then because we're even setting that port with an environment variable on this line here, as you can see, port 443. So make sure this and this has to match. And then we're giving it a name. We're giving our container a name. That's how we're able to reference it on this delete or remove command here. So we're giving it simple express app container. That's the name we're giving it. So, and then lastly, the image tag, really. The image type, it's username slash simple express app, just like we tagged it, on that CI action. So we're going to save this and then push this to Docker Hub, and then we expect everything to just spin up. So I'm going to add everything. Please don't waste my time. Thank you very much. I'm going to commit for the message. We'll say CD action. All right, we're looking good. Push, we're just pushing everything. So guys, I've pushed the code. Git was just messing up with me, but I've pushed the code, so we should be good. Let's go check it out. All right, so the first of the action, the CI action is running. When it finishes, the second one will run. But I need to effect something. The second one won't run because that branch is not the main branch of this repo. So we're going to make it the default branch. So I'm going to switch branch. I'm going to forward this. All right, then we need to push our code again for it to trigger. Let's just remove something here. So I'll come back here. Good. So now the second action will be triggered after the first one completes. So the first one is running, I guess. Where is it? The first one is running. When this completes successfully, then the second one triggers. And at that point, if everything goes well, our app will be live on that IP. So guys, the first action is complete. Hopefully the second one has started. Awesome. The second one has completed, which means our app should be live. Where is our public IP? Let me go grab it, and then I don't even need to go to the machine to check anything. Where is our IP? I've got it. There's our IP, so do colon 5000 slash our endpoint, and here voila, we are good. So let's run over what we did again. So we created a simple express app, dockerized it, of course, created secrets, build the first action. All of this code will be on the repo, so you can check it out. And the link will be in the description of this YouTube video, so you can look at it. So we'll push the code to GitHub, and then this action ran. So it deployed, pushed the image to Docker Hub. Then we provision an EC2 machine. I use Terraform to do that. And then SSH into the machine and install Docker, and then we install the runner of this code. Okay, you saw how we did there. If you go to the action tab and then runner, you will see the commands to create a runner. And then we created a second action, which was the deployment part. The code is there, and then we pushed, we watched the deploy, we've tested on that port, and we saw that things are working. And lastly, you can install your runner as a service, so it stays online, so that anytime you push changes, updates to GitHub, it just runs. The process just kicks off, and then everything, your app just updates automatically. Of course, that's what the CICD is for, right? But if you don't do that, after a while, your runner will be idle and will be offline rather, and your actions won't be able to complete or even run rather. So if you want to run continuously, you have to run it as a service, but we don't need to do that now because we've accomplished our tasks. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.